once I left Dublin and Leinster, that became very apparent. And that is that when you're within really highly successful environments, there's a very clear vision. I mean, it's so clear what you're working towards. And it goes beyond, and this is the real beauty of it. It goes so far beyond just what happens at the end of the season and the cups that you have and the All-Irelands that you have. There's a greater sense of purpose. And I know this is talked about an awful lot, but I felt that. I felt what it was like to be a part of, inspiring the youth or the future, but also connection to the past and what was gone before. I was a part of that all the time. Anyway, I leave Leinster, I leave Dublin, and I started to realize, geez, people are not connected to anything. People come with a goal of reducing body fat or building muscle or, completing a marathon in a better time. They don't really think about a vision for their overall life. And that is what I do. Like the whole thing is, how do you live your life day to day for better health and performance? But who are you going to be at 60 or 70 or 80 and work back from that? Because if you put a process in place that allows you to live a really high performing life, then the marathons and the body composition goals and the high roxes and all of those, they're just little points along the way. And people don't think about those things. And they also do not think about what's driving their decisions. So very often stress and frustration, and very sadly, I see a lot of this, loneliness is driving an awful lot of people's bad habits. When you start to peel the layers back, people start to realize, holy shit, it's nothing to do with, the takeaway at the weekend. It's nothing to do with it. It's actually how I'm feeling. There's something missing. And, there's I shouldn't be laughing, but no amount of protein is filling that feeling.
Definitely, yeah. It's a great way of putting it, yeah. And like I'm kind of smiling listening to this. I was like, Jesus Christ, I just came to this fella to find out what calories and protein I should be having for my marathon training. And then you're coming back with this questionnaire. Like, I'm sure there's, I can imagine you, cause of your background, that's probably the best way to describe it, that I would associate you working with high performing athletes. So if I consider myself a high performing athlete, I'm coming to you and I want that little extra bit, that thing. So I'm probably in a hurry, in a rush to get where I want to get to, and I want that next little piece of the jigsaw. So I'd imagine you can get a lot of pushback with that and maybe initial frustration because people are looking for the quick and dirty tip that's going to get them there. And you're coming back, rather than coming back with an answer straight away, it's essentially a flood of questions that is taking them away from that narrow mindset to open their mind and see what they want. So that is incredibly challenging, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really challenging. But, when you have people coming back telling you that this whole process has changed their lives, changed their relationships with their family members, with their partners. I have people who've changed careers off the back of the questions because they realize that the source of unhappiness is, who they're spending time with during the day. Definitely. Things begin to really change. And, I have some really, really sad stories too, where people come to you looking to better understand how to get more out of their training and how to reduce their body fat. And you ask them some of these questions about who they want to be, and they're really emotional, and they turn around to you and you're saying, you're asking me to answer the toughest question that, I'm not willing to ask myself. And I turn back to them and say, unless you're willing to answer those questions, you're never going to be happy.
If you enjoyed this clip, you can catch the full episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.